push
Yes.
Kondo Zimbi. And I'm sure, I mean, the news that's been running right along today around the fact that Rise Mzansi has been green-lighted by the IEC. I mean, I'm sure you guys are happy about that.
We are so, so happy. It's the
Mm.
moment that we've been waiting for.
Yes.
Because really, people are fired up. People are waiting for us they've been waiting for us to be on that ballot paper. And
Yes.
the day we told them that we are in,
Mm.
sibangenile.
Yeah. And I mean, it definitely, surely, I mean, I'm thinking it really kind of raises a lot of enthusiasm for most people now to actually think, yeah, yes, we must now campaign thoroughly and tell a lot of people about who Mzansi is, and, you know, what is it that you are planning to do with you know, next year, if you guys vote for us, and how we can then move this government forward.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
Yes. We're here to talk about that now.
Yes. So, Sis Push, I mean, you guys got this, and now the people of this country, you know, are actually going through a lot. You guys would be, I think, at the feet of that. You would understand, Guti, what are people suffering with, and the look of things, as it were. You know, issues of governance.
Yeah.
We see that is on top of the agenda. That those are some of the things that you guys are worried about. So, when we talk governance, what are you guys thinking as
Okay.
Rise Mzansi?
Now, let me start here.
Mm.
Rise Mzansi has brought a new kind of politics in South Africa.
Yes.
Never in the history of our country, pre and post the democratic elections, have we been consulted as the citizens of this country about our priorities.
Yes.
As communities.
Mm.
Never. I was here in 1994. I was here pre-1994. I was here in 1994, post-1994.
Mm.
And so are many South Africans. The culture in politics has been a few people of parties, political parties. They sit in boardrooms.
Yes.
They dream about the South Africa they want to lead. They dream about what they want to do. And they do all the dreaming without the ordinary people of this country. They document all their dreams, and then they come to the people with imiqulu okanye dossiers.
Yeah.
And then they tell the people that this is what we will do for you. This is how we are going to run this country. This is the way we think things should be happening. And 30 years later, including 2010, where an NDP document was formulated, National Development Plan was launched in 2010. This year in the review, 13 years later, things that are supposed to be accomplished by 2030 are still far. Instead, we have regressed. So at Rise Mzansi, one of the things that differentiate us, that sets us apart from any political movement, party, you name it, that has ever emerged in South Africa, is the fact that for 5 months after we have officially announced our launch on the 19th of April, we ran around the country, all 9 provinces. We went into villages, townships, cities, everywhere, holding meetings called town hall conversations, which proved to be literally a space for communities to vent. Things we heard in those meetings, they moved some of our leaders. I remember Usongezo, the national leader, cried in one of the meetings from listening to ordinary South Africans talking about their plight. And some of the things people mention are things you wonder What went wrong? Why would there be places where there's no water, no dignified places of relieving yourself, no toilets, no sanitation? I mean, those are the basics. Sanitation, clean water, shelter. But we have people who've been wielding their dreams in people's faces, and they go back to the boardroom to prioritize again over their own priorities. It's like when they come back from campaigning or whatever, they sit down and say, okay, we've had them, but this is not our priority. So Rise Mzansi is bringing a totally new kind of politics, people's politics. Politics that include ordinary people like me. I regard myself as an ordinary person who lives among the people, who understands what it takes to make and shape a community. So that's one difference about Rise Mzansi. So this coming weekend, we are looking at those themes. We call them themes. And we call the documents that we're bringing to the people that have been informed by the town hall meetings. They are discussion papers. Nothing is cut and dry. It's all information, statistics, and everything that the people of South Africa have said to us that, please, good people, take care of this. I hope I have made an adequate introduction to what really Rise Mzansi People's Convention and the discussion on the manifesto is about. I know you mentioned governance. I'll come to it.
Yes. I think for me, the interesting part is the part that you've touched on, the going to the community, kind of get a sense of what Rise Mzansi can deal with on behalf of the people. So what you're saying is that anikanga nje enhloko and you guys decided we're looking at the news and we're watching and these are the things. You actually went to the people to say, look, what are the things that you guys would want us to actually concentrate on? And I think that's quite very interesting.
It is.
It's very interesting. So the convention then is happening. So can you go a little bit into the
Into the convention?
Yeah, the convention.
Okay. South Africa is governed at 3 levels.
Yes.
Local, provincial, and national. So we took into consideration all those levels, as we were preparing for this People's Convention, which is taking place on the 6th to the 8th of October at the Constitution here.
So that is Joburg.
That is Johannesburg.
So you're taking all your guys from here to Joburg?
Guys from the Eastern Cape, 50 of them.
Okay. Wow.
There's 5 of us at the provincial leadership collective. We call ourselves the PLC. There's 5 of us. So all 55 of us were going to converge at King Palo Airport. Siobangena.
Yes.
Gauteng. Now, the interesting part, or the exciting part rather, is that we're taking people from Abomkanduli, people from Lusikisiki, people from Ebisho, Kwachuchu, Ezwelicha, abantu from Mdantsane, from Dangen Village, from Pefferville. We are taking all 50 of them. That is our field organizers, people who are mobilizing for Rise Mzansi in their community spaces. These are the people who first organized for these town hall conversations to take place. You see, this is where Ugana Makashule, Uvuiswa Ramkhoba, the national chairperson, Tebucho Mualusi, the spokesperson from national, and Usongezo, and many of them, Osilna, they've been going to all those places. I'm mentioning mine because Ndazi Eastern Cape, Owase Limpopo would do the same. They've been going to those places. So can you imagine the excitement of the people of the Eastern Cape from local and provincial level going to a space to partake in views and opinions that they have forwarded. Because people were there when we conduct our policy gatherings that we've done all over South Africa. What we had was there was a recorder who recorded all the issues zasemoy plus zokungabikho kwamanzi. They are part of what we are going to be discussing, because and in the end we want to come up with a developmental plan. After the manifesto, there must be a change plan to implement that. This is the what. The manifesto is the what. Is what are we rising for? What are we trying to solve in South Africa as these South Africans? And then there's going to be a how part of it in terms of prioritizing them. And yonke ke lento, we can only do it when we are in government.
Yeah.
That is why we are making this appeal to those South Africans who say, but will this country ever change? Will corruption end? How shall we get a dignified government and governance? Because as the citizens, we are part of governing. Governance is two-way. It's those who are in parliament who have been placed, ngabathunywa mos, in the words of my national leader. Ngabathunywa. They are public representatives. So they need to represent the public correctly and with the things that the public has endorsed. So what we'll be looking at then, we'll be discussing, and in the end, we'll come up with declarations, with things we say, this is how we want this country to be governed. And that can only happen when our fellow South Africans, the 26 million odd people who did not vote in 2021, I believe out of frustration, out of anger and shame, naively thinking that they are punishing the government who is not meeting the demands of the country. And they're not doing any justice, because not voting will also give you results, and the results that you don't want. So I am encompassing everything because I want to present a holistic picture of what governance means. Because for as long as we don't take that responsibility as the ordinary citizens of South Africa, the responsibility of voting the government, the people we want to see in governance, nothing is going to change. I want to make an example, Lester. No spoke. In Bisho, we have 63 seats, and they're not going to be revised. They will remain 63. Of the 63 seats, the ruling party has 44 seats. So, singenza unonqo apha ezantsi sijongisa inyawo phezulu. For as long as we don't make a conscious decision to unseat the 44 people who keep on making decisions that do not favor us at any level in this province, we are going to keep on crying. We, the people, hold the power to hire and fire. That's what is different in Rise Mzansi politics. Us going to the people saying, hire us just for 25 years to work together with your local leaders, local structures, businesses, and everyone who is involved in shaping communities. We are asking for a mandate to lead, to make a political environment conducive for economy to take place in this province. I will always speak for my province because that is what I'm pleading to the people of this province and South Africa. That is the Eastern Cape Tonians who are outside the province. We need to not only cry on social media, to not only cry on newspapers about into eyenzeka Eastern Cape. We need to show it by saying, no, enough is enough. You know, when we look at the gains of this democracy, when we look at our constitution, the things it enshrines and the implementation, there is a disconnect. The project of South Africa is beautiful. We have a beautiful project from constitution to policies. Nonetheless, somewhere along the line, kuvele kuvuka into eningayaziyo. Ubona into yoba masiyiguquleni ngoku ingathi iyasiphepha. No, guys, we need new answers.
Yeah.
Okay. You talk about politics and how does Rise Mzansi aims to showcase the new kind of politics during the People's Convention and how it differs from traditional political establishments that we have currently.
Okay. There are 6 discussion papers there. People will contribute to one from the theme about family, individuals and family, community and the well-being of the community, governance, economy, nationhood, and climate change. That's the offering we are bringing to the people. Because when things are simplified, people are able to understand and they're able to have a voice. So to speak, Rise Mzansi, Sithi ebantwini, we want to be your voice. Because we cannot all be in parliament. I remember, ukhona utata we-SGB ngonasese high school, siboycota. Sisithi, hayi, sifuna nathi, sifakwe eparlamente, sasingekakhululeki.
Yes.
And sistrike ke singayi naseklasini sithini. Wasibuza utata we-SGB, okay bantwana bam, masithi ke ngoku abantu abamnyama bayavunyelelwa eparlamente baye. Kuzazothathwa kuni apha e-high school? And that question, you know, I was young. I think it was 1983. I was young and it made me think, you know, 40 years later, that question strikes me differently because you can see whenever sifika ebantwini, you know, they have that thing, eti guys, we understand, we not all of us will be in parliament, but why should we trust you? Why should we trust you? We've been disappointed for the past donkey years. We've entrusted abantu with the project of changing our communities. And ke ngoku sithi thina ebantwini, don't throw away the bucket, the water, and the baby. Let's change the water, you know. Mhlawumbi lamanzi kudala kuvaswa lo mntwana, maske sitshintshe namanzi, whatever amanzi is. Kaninikeni abanye abantu ichance yoba bakhe barane le project. So the manifesto convention is about that. It's going to be discussion groups, it's going to be plenary where sishukuxa ke ngoku all these themes. I just want to mention them by name. We will have upset governance, community well-being, nation building, economy, climate and environment, and individuals and families. That is where we will get to talk about mental health. People will contribute on further on the things that they've put forward.
So Spush, I think in my understanding, the convention itself, which is the first one that Rise Mzansi is having, so will also in part set up the policies that then Rise Mzansi will follow and use those policies in terms of the manifesto and campaigns going forward. Is that what is going to happen at the convention?
Policies, yes, because in a democratic state, you've got to have a policy to change anything that is not working for the people. So policies, yes, there will be new policies where there is a need.
Okay.
But it's not like we will scrape away every policy. There are good policies in this country. But what will transpire most there, it's a developmental plan. It's a change plan.
Okay. So the idea is to actually move away from the convention with a solid way forward And this is your first meeting now as Rise Mzansi
Yes.
since you guys have started. Now, one of the things that has now become very prominent is the issue of crime. Those are some of the things you'd have seen. Also, the issue of the disasters, climate change, like you're talking about. Will those things be part of the strategy that you guys will be setting as the Rise Mzansi in this convention?
Okay. Let me talk a little bit about one of the things I believe have led to South Africa having a scourge of crime. It is said that every year we need at least about 100,000 new police recruits to manage the crime. Now, you tell me, when the bulk of a budget is spent on state security, protecting public representatives who should be having public confidence, who should be able to walk into communities unaccompanied, at least not by 6 vehicles, where 5 should be serving the community or the district. It means we have state resources invested where they are not supposed to be, such that we have issues cropping up where they're not supposed to crop up. So Rise Mzansi constituents have a task of thinking, how can we reshape South African police services such that it serves the public more than it serves the public representatives? Because it means there is a disjoint that there has to be 6 blue light vehicles accompanying 1 minister, and calculate the number of ministers and times that by 6, and look at the resources in terms of physical vehicles, in terms of money invested. You see, not to mention the vehicles that are not user friendly, that they park wherever, that cannot be utilized. So it's a matter of changing the way things are managing effectively, and having the political will to present what South Africans need. It's a matter of moving away from self-serving, because currently the governance platform as it stands, people are serving who have brought them to parliament, which is their constituents, their party members, other than the public. So what we are doing differently at Rise Mzansi, the public is sending us to a place of governance so that they can hold us accountable. It's accountability for Rise Mzansi.
Yes. So as we conclude, yes, push, they would want the listeners, share with the listeners how they can access Rise Mzansi. Because it's you guys have got to go ahead now, and people surely would want to now hear more and see more about Rise Mzansi.
Okay. Please get into our website, risemzansi.org, Mzansi SI. You will find everything there. The discussion papers are for you to go through, and the manifesto will go live. So we will keep on. Check our pages, Rise Mzansi, Eastern Cape, Rise Mzansi, for the nation, and our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow us there.
Yes. So again, the convention is it on the 6th
to the 8th of October.
To the 8th of
at
October
at
Constitution Hill in
Yes.
Johannesburg.
Yes.
You guys have already covered the delegates and all of those.
Everything is top notch.
Yes. Wow. So wow. Look, push. Our country really does need, people who are going to push it in the right direction.
Yes.
And people have kind of been waiting for something. There are people, like you said, who didn't vote, who are despondent, who have been
Yes.
disappointed, and all of those. So for you guys who have not voted in the previous election because of whatever disappointments you may have, maybe Rise Mzansi might be the political party that you've been looking for. So go look for Rise Mzansi's website and hear what they have to say. And I'm sure there will be a lot of information that comes after this convention that is happening now, where you'll be able to get an in-depth of their policies and their manifesto and all of those things. So yes, thank you so much, Sis Push. I don't know if there's any last words you wanna put out there to we got here Ukhunjulwa Mkile, she's been listening. Uvuyokazi Ncebetsha, she's also been listening last week. So we have those people abati hayi masiqhube phambili.
Yes, Rise Mzansi. Vote Rise Mzansi, guys. Like people of the Eastern Cape don't want to have your first female president from Duncan Village. You are led, guys.
Yes.
South Africa needs God-fearing leaders. Because the Bible says the beginning of wisdom, it is the fear of God. Anybody who doesn't fear God is likely to do anything.
Yeah.
Because
what they call, there is no boundaries. For that person.
There's no conscience. They're seared, their consciences. So
No, thank you so much, Sis Push, for coming around. And guys, Rise Mzansi is happening. They, like I said earlier on, they have been given a green light to actually campaign, and they will be part of the balloted paper next year when we go to elections. We don't know when yet, but we are knowing. The only thing that we are sure of is that next year we're going to elections.
Probably in May.
Yeah.
2024.
Okay. I see their posters quite a lot as I enter Beacon Bay. I'm like, oh, there's Rise Mzansi.
Oh, yeah. So at Rise Mzansi, Lester Nospoke, we say I rise, and the Rise Mzansi family says we rise.
Oh, yes.
So
and also fighters.
No, we rise.
We rise.
We rise to the occasion.
Yes.
Okay.
And all the best with the convention from the 6th to the 8th, and
we'll
safe
hear
travels.
I'm sure we'll hear at some stage how the convention went and so
Feedback,
forth.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Guys, it's the end of our discussion with Sis Push, and we'll give you guys some music that you can listen to. Thanks to those guys who are followers of Mzansi, who have been listening on our Facebook and our YouTube as well. So we really appreciate that. And don't just listen only on Tabukoni Party Rise Mzansi. Continue to listen even as we finish. Thank you so much. Let's give you some